Mexicans, Mexi, Mexicans are not exposing themselves to black people. They're not coming to do like this is like a summit. We have to tell you guys the truth. This was actually how it happened, and this is how it's going. This was how it started. Keep that report. As far as I'm concerned, like we do not literally need it. But anyways, I come across this particular clips on FYP where Mexicans are practically submitting themselves to the will of black people. Initially they said that black people can literally not help them. The only people that can actually help them is just the white folk. In fact, some of them hit their chest and said, instead of them to vote for Kamala Harris, it is better for them to take their vote and throw inside the sockaway and flush it. But now it is quite alarming. It's quite surprising that the same person they were always hailing for to vote for the person is actually whooping their ass. And now they are out to say, I just want you guys to listen to what they actually said. Credit belongs to the original creator of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do it, subscribe, like this video, drop in your comment, and lastly, do not forget to share. I want to say a very big thank you to every single one of you liking, dropping commentaries, and supporting the channel. God super duper bless you. With that being said, let's watch, and I'll be back with commentaries.
The reason why a lot of Mexicans turn into ICE agents, I'm gonna tell you guys why. Because some of these Mexicans, the minute they get a green card or U.S. citizens, they right away they turn MAGA. They're all Republican. They're all about deporting other Mexicans. And the reason why they do that is because a lot of Mexicans have a lot of self-hatred within themselves. They don't accept themselves. They don't love themselves for being brown. Some Mexicans are ashamed of being like indigenous or having like the stereotypical indigenous features and whatnot. And not only that, but you know how America, Hollywood, and you know what I mean? Pretty much like for the past decade, people stereotype or think that Mexicans are and whatnot. And just like the very stereotypical, you know what I mean? Like always the Mexicans this, that, and the other. And even like from other Latinos, you know what I mean? From other South American, maybe Caribbean people, you know what I mean? Like, so this has been so portrayed on Mexicans that a lot of Mexicans have built self-hate for being brown. And then once they have like a green card or get U.S. citizenship, all of a sudden they want to assimilate to the white culture, this and that and the other. But it's not specifically assimilating, trying to assimilate or be white. It's just more the discrimination, whether stereotypical or immigration status or economic status, whatever, you know what I mean? But we all know the heat that other Mexicans have received in this country for a long time. So these people just go vote MAGA right away, guys. And it goes to show that based on the point that I just said, that even before, when these people don't have papers or anything, and they work with other Mexicans that don't have papers or whatnot, they'll trample another Mexican. They'll throw another Mexican under the bus. Try to like diss them, you know what I mean, in the workplace, this and that and the other. Hate on other Mexicans, just, you know what I mean, like and that's the thing, you know what I mean. Like not a lot of our community talks about that. Like for me, I've experienced more love from other Latinos from other countries than my own, honestly. You know what I mean? Like just when I was in high school, I had a lot of Mexican friends, and I never experienced that, like hate from other Mexicans. But there'll be a couple of them that they'll give themselves away. Like it screamed, "Look at me, I don't have papers." You know what I mean? Just like the ignorant ways that they will think, like having like thinking like they're like these narcos, or like their mentality, the way they will speak, like, you know what I mean? Like you could tell like the background that they come from, you know what I mean? And I'm not nobody to judge, but it's like those Mexicans, the ones that don't be having papers, the ones that be driving drunk, burning tires, having with the sombrero and the modelo, and acting like big and bad narcos. The ones that that's all they know. That's all they know. What, you know what I mean? That's the only thing that they could ever like do besides work and do that and be that. You know what I mean? So that's why a lot of people even portrays us Mexicans, like other Latinos, like thinking that's all we are. Like, you know what I mean? And that's the thing, you know what I mean? Like where I live, there's a lot of Puerto Ricans. And I've had more Puerto Ricans say hi, hello to me, to my family, than I've had any other Mexicans. You know what I mean? And I'm not the type of person that wants somebody to say hello to me or talk to me. You know what I mean? But it's like where I live. When I first moved into my house, the neighbors, the first people that said hello to us were the Puerto Ricans. You know what I mean? And then when my parents said hello to this Mexican dude across, like they just gave like a stink face, like, you know what I mean, like if you know, you know what I mean. And I told my parents, I was like, bro, why are you guys saying hello to these people, bro? Like when I see other Mexicans, I don't say hello. I just don't, bro, because not because I hate other Mexicans. I'm Mexican, but because I know, bro, how some Mexicans are. You know what I mean? Some Mexicans are very like uptight, serious, and I don't know, bro. Like, you know what I mean? And it's all inflicted trauma. It's all trauma from how maybe their parents raised them, and you know what I mean. But then you meet their grandparents, and they're like the most humble people. You know what I mean, senora. And but that's what I'm saying. It'd be all trauma. It's all trauma. You know what I mean? It's all a self-hate thing based on the perception that people and the immigration things that people have experienced. You know what I mean? The Mexican community and like hardships and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And I understand that. You know what I mean? I can't judge nobody because I'm an immigrant myself. You know what I mean? But it's like it gets to a point where you're grown, where you're older, you have kids in this country, and obviously you know that you came here to give your kids a better life. You know what I mean? And you want obviously your son, your daughter to become better than the opportunities that maybe you didn't have in your country. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. That's the thing, guys. That's the reason why these border patrol agents that are Mexican turn MAGA, turn Republican, and all of a sudden hate other Mexicans, because that's how these people have always felt since the beginning of time, guys. I've seen this a bunch of times, you know what I mean? And it's something that I know a lot of Mexicans know about what I'm talking about, and it's just the truth, guys. It's the truth. It has been a all self-hatred thing since the beginning of time. You know what I mean? In our community, and we have proud Mexicans and whatnot, but there's some people that just, for these reasons that they've experienced life, and you know what I mean, and these lenses and these shoes, they're the reason why they're quick to vote Republican, quick to assimilate to the white culture and acceptance of other white men. You know what I mean? It's not all about acceptance of the white man, but based on just things that, you know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying in my previous video. Like in my previous video, that's what I'm saying. I was talking about how some Mexicans, amongst Mexicans, some people that don't like other Mexicans, the ones that act like narcos, the ones that give us the bad reputation, the ones that don't even have papers and be acting big and bad here in America, hitting on other Latinos, you know what I mean? And that's the thing, you know what I mean? Those are the type of people that honestly I could care less for, bro. I'm the type of person that I work in healthcare, like I said in my previous video, and I translate for anybody. You know what I mean? Sometimes people have thought I'm from another country, from another Latin country, and I'm like, oh no, you're soy Mexicano. You know what I mean? And I talk to them, you know what I mean, in Spanish in front of other people, and especially in this political climate. You know what I mean? Workplaces that we all work in and whatnot, and I just talk Spanish. You know what I mean, to them, and I'm not embarrassed. You know what I mean? But those are the Mexicans that I will always stick up for and defend, the hardworking ones, the ones that pay their taxes, the ones that, you know what I mean, are regular abiding citizens, you know what I mean, that work, that are not like the stereotypical and are not arrogant, ignorant, like some the other Mexicans that I was talking about. And yeah, guys, but if you guys let me know how you guys feel. Like, is it only me? Because I mean, it's sad, but it's the truth, you know what I mean? And I feel like until people don't come to love themselves and accept themselves for who they are, you know what I mean, I feel like us in the Mexican community, we will never get past these issues and stuff, you know what I mean? And I respect anybody's political views, you know what I mean, whether they're Republican, Democrat, whatever. I understand, you know what I mean? But I feel like more and more as you know what I mean, I'm grown, I'm 30 years old, I understand why some Mexicans don't, just in general, don't like to be around other Hispanic, other Mexicans, you know what I mean, let alone and I was like, yeah, bro, that's why I go to Costco and just avoid going to Mexican areas, places, you know what I mean? But I mean, I love tacos. I eat Mexican food, and I rep Mexico and tell other people about Mexico because so they other Latinos and other white people, whatever, so they don't have that perception, that bad perception that other Mexicans give us. You know what I mean? So I was like, okay, so at least when they met me, they won't believe the stereotypes. So I'll be like, oh yeah, that guy was like that. You know what I mean? Or whatever, how other people, stereotypical people look at us. You know what I mean? So yeah, guys, I just want to say my 2 cents, and yeah, guys, please like. Right, a lot of Mexicans turn into ICE agents. I'm gonna tell you guys why.
You know how gay men have a gaydar, okay? Straight men have a gaydar too. We got one too, cause we need to know what man be sus and shit. This is a sus man right here. You get me? I don't have to know his whole sexual background. No, I can feel the gay on this guy. Okay? I feel the gay on this guy. I wouldn't even try to treat him like a homeboy. Yeah, you get what I'm saying? Like I wouldn't be like shoot a dab out at him. No, I would hit him with my elbow. Like, hey, you get it? Because I don't trust you. I don't trust the man in you. I think it's more woman in you than men, especially with 2 earrings. Any man with 2.
Seeing black and Mexican ICE agents is so disheartening. Like, are you joking? Are you joking? We already have the world against us, and now you're gonna join them as their little token mascot? Are you joking? Like, are you actually serious? If you are a black or Mexican ICE agent, are you joking? That is so embarrassing.
This is the reason why a lot of Mexicans turn into ICE agents. I'm gonna tell you guys why.
Okay, so I'm not Hispanic. I can't talk about the experiences of what it's like to be Hispanic, but I know what it's like to be black, and we have similar experiences. I've seen Asian people talk about this. I've seen Mexican people talk about this. I've seen Native people talk about this. It seems like the problem is just because white supremacy seeps its way into society, the goal of that society begins to shift, and like the goal is now to assimilate towards that, and then the people begin to fight with each other and shift their goal is like it's like our proximity to whiteness is what we're looking to achieve. And so when you come into this country as an immigrant, you see that society has set up in a way that white society has this power that they are able to exercise in these different ways, right? And so I'm coming in, instead of, I don't want to be on the perceived lower class, on the lower rung, so I'm going to do whatever it takes to assimilate. So I'm going to join in and do that because the goal is to get closer to whiteness, to achieve whiteness. Also, I feel that I've been thinking recently, racism isn't necessarily even so much about hate as much as it is just communal. Like, hate groups get such a big following because of the communal aspect of it. Yes, there's a lot of hate, like deep-rooted bigotry hate and just like core fucking hate these group of people. But more so it's like, come on around, guys, we're all doing this thing. I think it's more so of that. And so when you start looking at groups of people, especially coming in and trying to assimilate, it's a lot easier to do that. Especially when you're like looking at these groups of power and you see the system that upholds it. So, I don't know. I didn't think that I made one of my points well enough, and so I'm going to try to articulate it a little bit better. I've seen with my own eyes, and definitely seen people talk about it, in the black community, right? You wonder, how are you able to like have such hate towards your brother, right? And so then I've heard people talk about it where it's like, nobody cares if you kill a nigga. I've heard it said just like that. And so it's with that mentality where it's like, oh, well, you see, there's no political system supporting or protecting these people, so I might as well try to join the opposite side, fight with the power that I want to be on the strong side. So I'll do whatever it takes to be on that side. That's the mentality that a lot of people have, right? Where it's like, I see the wrongdoings, but I don't necessarily see anything, a strong force fighting against that. So instead of even looking to be that force, I'm just going to join in on the already strong side.
Why are there so many Latinos who work for ICE and Border Patrol? Let's get into it. So you might think that being part of an industry that targets our communities would make it difficult to work within them, but somehow that's not the case. Recently, a reporter in El Paso interviewed Dr. David Cortez, who is an expert on why Latinos decide to work in ICE and Border Patrol. And his learnings may or may not surprise you. So first off, Latinos make up about 18% of the overall US population, but when it comes to enforcement agencies and even the military, Latinos are overrepresented. So even though Latinos make up just 8% of the overall federal workforce, Latinos make up 30% of all ICE agents and over 50% of all Border Patrol officers. And in El Paso, that number jumps up to 78% Latinos in ICE as employees. So what gives? Why are they doing this? According to the research conducted by Dr. Cortez, a lot of it has to do with income and also survival. So in this article, the reporter writes, I felt weird saying the reporter, I had to look up the name. It's Aaron Colohan, okay? Aaron Colohan. So anyway, the reporter says that in El Paso, there's about 20% of the people who live there are living in poverty. And also 20% of the people there have college degrees and access to higher paying jobs. And so the idea here is that a federal job with good benefits, with a uniform that people believe brings respect, is their version of an American dream. So a lot of people are joining these organizations for economic stability, and also because they, somewhere in their mind, believe that they can make a difference in these institutions, even though that may not be the case. And they do acknowledge that there's a lot of gray area between the mandates that come from above and what they wish they would be able to do. By the time that people realize that the agency is not going to let them make change from within, it's too late. They're trapped in by the higher wages. And, they really do believe, a lot of these folks really do believe that immigrants are safer because of their presence there. So what Dr. Cortez found in his research is that a lot of these officers understand that what their agency is doing is harmful to their communities. But at the same time, they are not in a position where they can change those mandates. So how exactly is it that you can exist in two worlds and not betray one or the other? I don't know, man. This sounds like hella cognitive dissonance to me. Why do so many Latinos work for ICE or for Border Patrol? Let's talk about it. This is part 2. Go back and watch my video from yesterday for part 1. But the reason I wanted to do a part 2 is because there's a long history of where Border Patrol comes from that a lot of people don't understand, right? They see what they believe is a stable federal job with benefits, and they may not have much education. A lot of them may be former military, and they think, well, this is my chance, right, to improve my life and to live my version of the American dream. And all at the same time that they're doing this, they also know that the things that the agency that they're part of is doing are harmful to their communities. So let's go back and think about the history of Border Patrol. The U.S.-Mexico border was set after the U.S.-Mexico War, and the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo defined those borders in 1848. Before the Border Patrol was officially established as an organization in 1924, there were groups that patrolled the border like the Texas Rangers, and those groups were extremely violent. They lynched Mexicans. They hunted indigenous people for bounty. They blocked the entry of Chinese migrants, and they even captured Black people and returned them to their slavers. When the Border Patrol was created, many of those agents came directly from those vigilante groups. Groups like the racist, unaccountable Texas Rangers, and that legacy persists to this day. Border Patrol agents who act through violent means have faced impunity ever since the founding of the Border Patrol. And these are just some examples of what they've done. In the 1930s, many members of the Border Patrol were members of the Ku Klux Klan, and this meant that they would shoot at and hang up Mexicans. In the 1940s, Border Patrol agents patrolled internment camps where Japanese Americans were held during World War II. And they deported Japanese citizens and non-citizens. In the 1950s, Border Patrol worked to deport over 1 million Mexicans, including U.S. citizens, to Mexico during Operation Wetback. During this time period, the US government gave them special permission to deport people and employ violent military style tactics, and to deport people without warrants. Sound familiar? In the 1990s, following Operation Gatekeeper, which funneled migrants through the hottest parts of the desert, causing deaths to rise, Border Patrol agents were there as well to check on those funnels, and Border Patrol agents have been known to enter autonomous indigenous land without permission to search for migrants. In the 2020s, Border Patrol agents were seen and photographed on horseback whipping immigrants who were Afro-descendant, some from Haiti and some from Honduras. Now, these were people who were at the US border seeking asylum. So the question still remains, why do people decide that this is an agency that they are okay joining? It's because for many Latinos, especially those who lack access to education, the US government is providing a lifeline with these types of jobs. The same government that would criminalize you is offering you an opportunity to wear a uniform, and some of y'all are taking it. So what I want you all to remember out of all of this is that representation does not equal liberation. Just because there's a lot of people who look like you or who have your shared experience and heritage in an institution, that doesn't mean that that institution is all of a sudden converted and woke and whatever. It's not about how many of us are in that room. Clearly, there's no power there to change that system. I need y'all to fully understand what those rooms were built to do. There is no reforming Border Patrol or ICE. It was built like that.
I so much love F around and find out moments like this, honestly. And that is why, as far as I'm concerned, I will keep saying it. Like, nobody asks anybody to start explaining so much. If you like, join ICE. If you like, do not join ICE. Every single reasons that you're joining, that you think that you're literally safe, I'm going to tell you this, and mark my word, if you're a Mexican person watching this video, you are literally not safe. You know, one thing I love about the orange man is the orange man loves to deal with people that actually put him there first. That is one beautiful part I love about the orange man. And let's just be honest, he never lied to anybody. He said what he said, and he did actually what he did. This Mexican had all of the opportunities, like I said, literally all of the opportunities to vote for a black person. But no, even when they were educating them, no. And when it started, they started with them, throwing them back to their countries, despite the fact that they claim that they are doing the most hardworking job and so on and so forth. Now, these are some of the reasons why they decided that they are going to be signing up for ICE and so on and so forth. As far as I'm concerned, right? If you like, sign up for president and become the president. When Donald Trump wants to fling you to any destination he wants to fling you to, there is nothing literally you can do about it. So they're even subscribing for joining ICE, blah, blah, blah. It's not a guarantee. In fact, some of them might even be the one that they will send, and they will tell them that, where is your wife? Your wife is an illegal immigrant. Go and deport her. You are an ICE agent. And that will be more 100% painful, like very, very painful. You know, when black people see things from the onset and they're always trying to pull out a lot of people and letting them know that this is the particular route that you're supposed to be taking, you're not supposed to be taking the other route. A lot of them said, no, it is a lie. It is a lie. Why are black people always like this? Black people are jealous. Black people are this, black people are that. But now they are coming to that realization and be like, how I wish we had listened. How I wish we literally have to hear from these people before we misbehave, before we have to do any single thing that we need to do. But there's only crying over a spilt milk. Enjoy the USA that you want to enjoy. And I saw a lot of comments at the end, especially from the first clip of the video. I saw a lot of comments where people were literally commenting and saying that good for them, but the thing is, no matter how they try their possible best to be very, very close to whiteness, they can never be white. They can never be white. Proximity to whiteness is not white. You will still be identified as Mexican, and when anything happens, they want to start with you guys, it will still definitely happen. But anyways, I think it is good when you see people learning the hard way, and yeah. So Black Americans, let me know what you think. Credits belongs to the original creators of every single clips and stitches we have in our today's episode. If you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Do it, subscribe, like this video, drop in your comments, and lastly, Do not forget to share for every other person to get this good news. And yes, guys, with that being said, with no further ado, I do like I say in my videos. I'm going to be saying bye and I'll see you guys in my next one. For now, bye guys. I love you guys. Mwah.